Good morning, students. Welcome to chemistry class. I'm V. Ragasuma, Government Degree College, Bhadrachalam. Today's class is an interesting class and a very easy concept that can be understood for you. It is the chromatography that I'm going to explain you. Chromatography it can be considered as a method of separation of the mixture of components into individual components through equilibrium distribution of the components between two phases. So the separation technique chromatography, we'll see how many types, the basics. So what are the different types of the chromatography? So chromatography from the Greek chroma, color, and graphein is nothing but to write. The chroma means color, graphein is to write. It is collective term for the set of laboratory techniques, separation of mixtures. The mixture is dissolved in fluid called mobile phase. Whatever mixture we are going to separate, that mixture we are going to dissolve in the fluid. That fluid is called as the mobile phase. It carries through the structure holding another material, which it carries. The mobile phase will carry through the structure holding another material called stationary phase. The various constituents of the mixture travel at different speeds, causing them to separate. So the speed will be differed for the materials of the mixture and thereby they get separated. The separation is based on differential partial it is based on the differential partitioning between the mobile phase and the stationary phase. So the color and graphene means to write. Collective term, it's nothing but separation of the mixtures, is nothing but chromatography. So in chromatography technique, we generally separate, identify the components of a mixture. It is a technique used to separate and identify the components of a mixture. Now the works are carried out by allowing the molecules present in the mixture to distribute themselves between a stationary and a mobile medium. Molecules that spend most of their time in the mobile phase are carried. Molecules that spend most of their time in the mobile phase are carried along faster. They are first swept out. Okay, so just in this way, by separation, by their mobility, we separate the mixtures. Okay, so in 1941, Martin and Singe introduced the partition and the paper chromatography. So method of separating mixture of components into individual components through equilibrium distribution of the components between two phases is called chromatography. So the method was first used in 1903 by Russian botanist Michael Tishwit. This chromatography, this method was first used in 1903. It was used in 1903 by Russian botanist Michael Tishwit in the separation of plant pigments in leaves and grass on the column of chalk. And later on in 1941, Martin and Singe introduced partition and the paper chromatography. Later on in 1952, gas chromatography was introduced. And in the next decade, the chromatography separation became universal, extended several areas of the study. It has been extended in the different areas of study, particularly chemistry and biology, medicine, everywhere. This technique is employed to separate the mixture of compounds. So, chromatography in Greek language, nothing but color writing. Color writing is called chromatography. Now, what is the principle behind this? Chromatography usually consists of mobile phase and stationary phase. Mobile phase refers to mixture of substances to be separated, dissolved in the liquid or gas. Chromatography usually consists of mobile phase and stationary phase. The mobile phase refers to mixture of substances to be separated during liquid or gas. The stationary phase is porous solid matrix through which the sample contained in the mobile phase percolates. The interaction between the mobile phase and the stationary phase results in the separation of the compound from the mixture. So, the interaction between the mobile phase and the stationary phase results in the separation of the compound from the mixture. So, that is the basic principle. Now, we'll see the classification. So, before the types, chromatography methods of separation of components in a mixture are into individuals involve successive series of equilibrium stages. These equilibrium stages are based on the partition or differential adsorption of individual components between two phases. Okay, chromatographic methods of separation of the components in a mixture in individual ones generally involve successive series of the equilibrium stages. Different equilibrium stages they involve. These equilibrium stages are again based on the partition or the differential adsorption of individual components between two phases, stationary phase, mobile phase. So there it depends on the partition and differential adsorption on the between the two phases. So the two phases are nothing but stationary phase and the mobile phase. Mobile phase moves over the stationary phase. I'm repeating the principle. Phase moves over the stationary phase. Stationary phase is composed of small particles which contribute a large surface area of the mobile phase. The differences in the physical and chemical properties of the components determine their relative affinity for stationary phase and move through the system at different rates. The least retarded component moves faster and will be eluted fast. Least retarded component moves faster and will be eluted first. The most retarded moves slowest. Stopping. The most retarded moves slow and eluted last. The types, coming to the types, you are having paper chromatography. So the principle was explained. Now, paper chromatography, thin layer chromatography, gel chromatography, column chromatography, gel filtration chromatography, gas liquid chromatography, affinity chromatography. Okay, so these are the different types. So depending the stationary phase, solid, mobile phase, depending on the different techniques. So I'll just explain you. If the stationary phase, the paper chromatography, stationary phase is solid, mobile phase is liquid. Even for TLC, stationary phase is solid, mobile phase is liquid. Okay, so this way. And coming to the gel chromatography, stationary phase is gel, solid matrix, and the mobile phase is the liquid. Okay, now coming to the column chromatography, stationary phase is solid, and the mobile phase is the liquid. Now coming to ion exchange chromatography, stationary phase is solid, mobile phase is liquid, IAC. Again, gel filtration chromatography, one and the same, gel filtration. So gel filtration chromatography also the same, solid matrix, and again liquid is the mobile phase. Gas liquid chromatography. The name itself you can tell. Gas liquid. Stationary phase is liquid and the mobile phase is gas. Okay. So affinity chromatography. Again now later on it has been changed. The affinity chromatography. Again LLC liquid chromatography. further. So today's class, I'm going to, in the affinity chromatography also, again the solid stationary phase and the mobile phase liquid. Now today's class, I'm going to explain you the paper chromatography, thin layer chromatography, gas liquid chromatography, just the basics and the minimum which is required. I'm going to explain in this class. Now, what is paper chromatography? Paper chromatography. What is paper chromatography? Paper chromatography technique involving placing a small dot or a line of sample solution on the strip of chromatography paper. I'm repeating. I'm repeating once again. The solid is the stationary phase, and the liquid is the in the paper chromatography. Liquid is the mobile phase. Okay. So in this paper chromatography, in this technique, it involves placing a small dot or a line of sample solution onto the chromatographic paper. Onto the chromatographic paper. This paper is placed in the jar that is containing layer of solvent, which is containing layer of the solvent. That is nothing but that will be the mobile phase. That will be the mobile phase, and it is sealed. Now as the solvent rises through the paper, it meets the sample mixture. It starts to travel up the paper with the solvent. This is paper chromatography. Here the diagram, what I've explained, the simple type of paper chromatography. In this technique, small dot or line of sample solution is placed on the paper. It is placed in the jar which is containing solvent and then sealed. Now solvent travels through the paper, meets the sample mixture. Even the sample mixture starts to travel along with the paper with solvent, along the paper with the solvent. Here, small line or a dot is placed on the paper, and this is inserted in a jar. This jar is containing the mobile phase solvent. And this is the beaker. This is the paper, and this paper is pinned to the wood piece. Okay, the simple chromatography, paper chromatography. Seeing the diagram, you can see jar. Here is the jar, and on this jar, a paper is taken first. Paper. So this is the stationary phase. It is pinned to the wood, piece of wood. Piece of wood. Here paper is pinned, and this paper is kept in the jar, which is containing solvent. Before placing in the solvent, sample solution, whatever we are we want to separate, that sample solution is taken on the paper at the bottom, and it is placed at the in the solvent, and thereby after some time solvent will be traveling, and along with the solvent even the sample mixture which is placed as a dot on the paper at the bottom, even this will travel. This mixture is containing, this sample is containing mixture of components. Along with the solvent, even this total components will travel. Here you can see all these are getting traveled. Now, during traveling, you can see chromatography, separation of the components into different colors. You can see each component is of one color. Okay, so the components are getting separated here. So stationary phase paper, and the mobile phase is the liquid. Okay, Now here, starting position, and this is the new position. Distance, solvent has traveled till here, but the sample has traveled till here. Here you need one more concept, RF values. So the compounds, whatever are visualized by suitable staining reagent, the ratio of the distance RF of the band and that of the solvent front from initial mark, it is measured. Retardation factor. RF is nothing but the retardation factor. The components of the experimental mixture get separated on the paper at different position. These are all visualized by the staining reaction. Yeah. Using the staining reaction, the components of the experiment mixture get separated on the paper at different positions, which are visualized using a suitable staining reaction. The ratio of the distance traveled of the band and to that of solvent. The distance traveled by the substance to the distance traveled by the solvent. Here, this is the solvent distance, this is the solute distance. Here, the substance distance. So, that ratio is called RF values. Distance traveled by the substance by distance traveled by the solvent front is called RF value, retardation factor. This factor helps for the identification of the unknown, whatever is getting separated. For that it is useful. It is sometimes rather difficult to separate complex mixtures of the substances by a single run. So with one solvent system, for the single run, it is difficult. So then second run is carried out by different solvent system. So previously with one solvent and secondly with the other solvent, it is measured. Okay. And in the perpendicular to the first run, it is taken. This is two-dimensional chromatography. So first with one solvent you do, that is single run, the components gets separated. If it is rather difficult to separate with single run with one solvent system, in that case, you take second run with the different system and you do it perpendicular to the first run. This is called the two-dimensional chromatography. Two-dimensional chromatography. Okay. So in this way you do, I told you the basic principle and everything was explained in a simple way. The paper chromatography is explained. So first what you do is preparation of the sample. I'm repeating, preparation of the sample. The sample used in the experiment should be desalted, especially biological materials of the electrolysis, the poor, or else you don't get a poor chromatogram. Okay, with separating spots and RF values, everything keep on changing. So first we prepare a proper sample. That is the first step. The second step is paper. Whatman number 1 paper is used for analytical process, or Whatman number 3 mm paper thickness is best employed for separating large quantities. For rapid separation, Whatman number 4 and 5 papers are used. Again, the paper is impregnated with the buffer solution before use. Sometimes papers are chemically modified by acetylation. Silica impregnated papers are used in biological experiments. Okay. Now the solvents, the choice of solvents is also important. The choice of solvents is empirical and it is dependent on the mixture of investigation. The solvent should be chosen that the RF values of the components are widely different. pH of the solvent is always important in separation. pH of the solution is always important for the separations. Okay. So the basic experimental procedures I have told you. Preparation of sample, paper, and the solvent. And thereby development of chromatogram we can see. Okay. So in this paper chromatography, still further in detail, the next classes will be explained. Just the outline of the chromatography I have explained for paper chromatography. Now in the similar way, the outline of the thin layer I'm going to explain, and the outline of the gas liquid also. Now, thin layer chromatography, it is widely employed laboratory technique, and it is almost similar to that of paper chromatography. It is almost similar to that of paper chromatography. Instead, using the stationary phase paper, it involves the use of thin layer of adsorbent like silica gel we will use. A column is used here. In that column, silica gel, alumina, cellulose is used. Okay. So for the thin layer chromatography, almost like the paper chromatography, where the stationary phase is paper for paper chromatography. And for TLC, the column is used. In that column, the packing adsorbent is the silica gel or the alumina or the cellulose. Okay. Compared to paper, it has the advantage of fast runs, better separations, and choice between different adsorbents. Choice between the adsorbents. Now, thin layer chromatography. Here the mobile phase is a liquid. The mobile phase is the liquid. I told you previously. Mobile phase we are taking liquid, the flowing past thin layer of the powder on the solid support. Substances that are less attracted to the solid are more soluble in liquid, more faster. Mobile phase is a liquid, flowing past a thin layer of the powder on a solid support. The substances that are less attracted to the solid are more soluble in water and moves faster. And so move further up to the plate by the time that the process has been stopped. And taking plate out of the liquid, larger RF values are calculated. Here, you can see TLC. So this TLC was introduced by Maliv and Schrabirer in 1938. They have separated plant extracts of 2 mm alumina thin layers set on the glass plates. This is similar to partition chromatography and it has more advantages. Thin layer has more advantages compared to the paper chromatography. Equipment, it is almost simple. Chromatogram, it is very short time. Stationary phase choice is wide. Recovery of the separated components is fast and it is easy. Separation efficiency is high. Identification of separated components is also easy in this thin layer chromatography. So the mobile phase is the liquid flowing past thin layer of the powder on the solid support. The substances are less attracted to the solid and more soluble in the liquid, moves faster. And so move further by the plate. By the time the process has been stopped by taking the plate out of the liquid, the larger RF values will be. Basing on RF values only again we do. So that is a basic principle. It is a sensitive process. Well-defined spots are observed. Preparation is almost very easy. Stationary phase is chemically inert. There you can see the column. In that column, on adding RF values, how you are getting. Almost like the paper chromatography. As the solvent is flowing, see the paper chromatography, it's also same. As it's flowing, even the solvent is getting moved. And the mixture, see, just like just the comparison of the paper chromatography you take. In the paper chromatography, you're dipping here, the mixture, see, on dipping, this is the mixture, green one previously, the paper. So here on putting in the column, again, the green one got separated to blue and yellow. RF value is equal to X by Y. X by Y. Okay, so thin layer chromatography, a chamber is taken, packing material, the solvent mixture, here, chamber. This is the slime. Now this is the thin plate. Solvent mixture is there. Thereupon, the solvent helps saturate enclosed area, covering the plates. Thin layer. It's coated here the sample. And as the solvent is, it's in dip here in this plate. This plate, a sample here it is mixed, and the solvent it's absorbing and moves along the plate and separates the mixtures. Okay, so in this way it gets separated. Now coming to the third technique, gas liquid chromatography. Gas liquid chromatography, I told you, the liquid is the stationary phase. The liquid is the stationary phase and gas is the mobile phase. Gas is the mobile phase in this technique, gas liquid technique. So just the outline of the paper chromatography and the outline of the liquid thin layer chromatography is explained. And now gas liquid chromatography, just a brief introduction. In detail, we'll see in the next sessions. Gas chromatography, generally known as the gas liquid chromatography, it's a separation technique in which the mobile phase is the gas. In this method of choice, the separation of volatile substances and volatile derivatives of certain non-volatile substances. The stationary phase is the inert solid. It is impregnated with a non-volatile liquid. In the gas chromatography, a sample is rapidly heated and vaporized at the injection port. The sample is transported through the column by mobile phase, consisting of the inert gas. Sample components are separated based on their boiling points and relative affinity for the stationary phase, which is often viscous liquid wax within the column. The higher a component's affinity for stationary phase, the slower it comes out. More is the affinity, it gets attracted and slowly it comes out. Very slow. The components are then detected and represented as the peaks on the chromatogram. Okay, in the gas liquid chromatography. The mixture of the volatile material is injected into the column. Mixture of volatile material injected into the column through mobile phase. The separation of the volatile mixture, it is based on partition of components between mobile phase and the stationary phase. Hence, we have got the gas liquid chromatography. Separation of the volatile mixture, it is based on the partition of the components between mobile phase, that is gas, and stationary phase, that is liquid. It is taking place between gas and the liquid, mobile and the stationary phase. So we have got this name. Here the mobile phase, it is unreactive gas. Generally you take nitrogen. It is flowing through the tube. Okay, mobile phase is flowing through the gas. Generally nitrogen, it's flowing through the tube. And the stationary phase is a involatile liquid, hence held on the particles of the solid support. And the stationary phase is an involatile liquid held on the particles of the solid support. Here you see in the animation below, the red molecules are more soluble in the liquid and they are less volatile than the green. So these are very, see, you can see red molecules more soluble in the liquid, less volatile, they are way backside compared to the green. Okay, so in this liquid, the mobile phase and the mixture, so our mixture, it's containing red and the green. So here the red molecules more soluble, less volatile, and they're going slow. Green molecules, these gas molecules are volatile and they're going fast. Okay, so see how wonderful, huh? Now, in practice, the column contained thermostatic oven. About 1 microliter of the liquid is injected into the one end of the column. Okay, here one end of the column. As each component reach other end, it is detected and registered on the chart record. Retention time is a characteristic of particular substance. RF values, retention time, for the same column temperature and the gas flow. The area under the peak, the area under each peak indicates relative quantities. Okay, so nitrogen cylinder here, this is our mobile phase. This is the injection port. The sample will get injected here. Now this is the oven and the column. Oven the column. The sample injected will flow here. Stationary phase. Here again the gas is the mobile phase. They move around along the column and they get separated and they're getting detected and then recorded. There you get the peak. Whatever substance comes first, that is detected and the peak is noted. Injection port. This is the injection port. The sample is injected. As it moves on, within no time, you get the peak. They're getting separated, blue color, yellow color. A grain sample is injected. It's containing the mixture yellow and blue. As these are moving, get a separated peak. Again, the one and the same. Both of them, you are having one and the same principle. Distance moved by the substance by distance moved by the solvent. For the substances that are soluble in the liquid, RF value will be 1. For the substances that are insoluble in the liquid, RF value will be almost 0. RF value is almost 0. Okay, so generally this gas liquid chromatography, it is suited for the petrochemical, environmental monitoring, industrial chemical fields. It is sensitive, rapid, and it is reliable. Okay. Now we'll see the applications. The applications of the chromatography. Chromatography technique, it is used for the separation of amino acids, proteins, carbohydrates. It is used for the analysis of the drugs. Different drugs are being prepared. Analysis will be done for them. In that analysis, generally the drug analysis, this chromatography is employed. For the analysis of hormones, it is analyzed. For mixture of vitamins, this process is employed. It is helpful for qualitative, quantitative analysis of complex mixtures. This technique is useful for determination of the molecular weight of proteins. So these are the applications. So today's class, I have explained you in brief what is chromatography. In brief, just this is a brief lecture. And next class in detail, each chromatography will be explained. What is chromatography? What is basic principle of the chromatography? Types of chromatography, and what is paper chromatography? In these types, again, paper chromatography, thin layer, and the gas. A brief explanation is given. What is paper chromatography? Diagrams. What is RF values? Now, what is thin layer chromatography? Diagram. Just basic principle. What is gas liquid chromatography? And the basic principle. Instrumentation. Basically, it was explained. Okay. Thank you, everybody. And what are the applications are also discussed. Thank you, everybody.